What if I told you your cat has rules they expect you to follow? Do you even know what those rules are? Most owners think they do. But cats carry silent expectations that go far beyond food, water, and attention. These are unspoken rules your cat tests you on each and every day. If you keep breaking them, which most people do without ever realizing it, your cat won't say a word. They'll just quietly stop trusting you. Let's begin with the one almost everybody gets wrong. 1. Staring into your cat's eyes. Have you ever looked directly into your cat's eyes and wondered why they suddenly looked away? They probably didn't think much of it. Maybe they got distracted by something else. But here's what was actually going on. Again, cat language, direct. Contact is not affection. It's a challenge. When you lock eyes with your cat and hold that gaze even a few seconds longer than you should, your cat reads it as a threat. It's hardwired deep into their instincts. In the wild, a prolonged stare between two cats is what happens right before a fight breaks out. So every time you gaze into those beautiful eyes thinking you're sharing a tender moment, your cat is sitting. They're wondering why you're being so aggressive. A study published in the journal Animal Cognition found that cats actively avoid eye contact with people who stare directly at them, but will move closer to people who blink slowly and look away. That's not a coincidence. That's your cat spelling out the rules. The right move is straightforward. Look at your cat softly, offer a slow blink, then look away. That's the real way to say I love you in their world. And if you've been staring without knowing this, don't worry. I'll pay close attention to the final section of this video, because where your cat chooses to sleep at night actually reveals whether they've forgiven you for breaking rules like this one. The answer might genuinely surprise you too, petting your cat for too long. Why does your cat go from purring contentedly on your lap to suddenly biting your hand out of nowhere? You didn't feel like you did anything wrong? At least that's how it seemed, but here's the truth. You did do something wrong. You just didn't know when to stop. Cats have a neurological threshold for physical touch. Once you cross it, what started as pleasure turns into overstimulation. When that switch flips, your cat isn't being mean. They're telling you that you broke the rule. Researchers call it petting-induced aggression. It happens because repeated stimulation on their skin begins to irritate the nerve receptors. Think of it like someone rubbing the same spot on your arm again and again. At first it feels good, then it becomes uncomfortable. Then it's completely unbearable. The warning signs are always there before the bite. Their tail begins twitching. Their ears flatten slightly. Their skin ripples along their back. Most owners miss every single one of those signals because they're too caught up in how sweet the moment feels. The rule is simple. Pet in short sessions. When you notice any of those signals, stop. Let your cat decide when they want more. That's not rejection. That's your cat showing you how they want to be loved. And before we move on, if this is already shifting the way you see your cat, hit like and subscribe so we can reach more owners who want to learn the rules their cat will never meow about. 3. Moving their favorite spot. You know that one spot? Your cat always curls up in. What happens when you move the blanket, rearrange the couch, or throw out that old box they loved so much? Most owners don't think twice about it. You're just tidying up. To your cat, you just destroyed something that belonged to them. Cats don't see your home the way you do. They map their entire world through scent and territory. Every spot they claim gets marked with pheromones from their face and paws. That's their way of saying, this is mine. This is safe. I belong here. So when you move their favorite blanket to another room or shuffle the furniture around, your cat doesn't just feel annoyed, they feel displaced. That sense of security they built around that spot simply vanishes, and they have no idea why. A study from the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery found that environmental disruption is one of the leading triggers of stress in indoor cats. Something as small as shifting a bed to the other side of the room can cause anxiety, loss of appetite, and even litter box avoidance. The rule here is to respect what they've claimed. If your cat has chosen a spot that's not random, that's a decision. And if you absolutely must move something, do it gradually. Shift it little by little so your cat can adjust without feeling like their safe space disappeared overnight for talking to them while they eat. Maybe you stand nearby and say something sweet while they're mid-meal. It feels harmless enough, right? But your cat doesn't see it that way. Not even a little. In the wild, mealtime is one of the most vulnerable moments for any cat. Their head is down, their senses are zeroed in on the food, and their guard is lower than at any other point in their day. That instinct doesn't switch off just because they live indoors. So when you hover over their bowl, chat with them, or reach down to pet them mid-meal, your cat's survival instincts kick in. They can't fully relax into eating because part of their attention is now fixed on you. Even if they don't run away, the stress is happening on the inside. You just can't see it. What you can see is the aftermath. Cats that feel pressured during meals start eating too fast, and that leads to vomiting, food guarding, or even avoiding the bowl entirely. And in multi-cat households, the same thing can occur even without you standing there. When food bowls are placed too close together, the presence of another cat creates that exact same pressure. So even if you step away, they still don't feel safe eating at their own pace. The rule is simple. When your cat is eating, give them space. No talking, no touching, no hovering over them. And if you have more than one cat, give each of them their own spot to eat. Those few minutes at the bowl belong to them and only them. 5. Ignoring them when you walk in. When you get home after a long day, what's the very first thing you do? Drop your keys, scroll your phone, kick off your shoes. But have you ever noticed your cat was right there waiting for you? Most owners walk straight past them without a second thought, and to you it's nothing. You're tired, you're distracted, you'll get to them later. But to your cat, that moment meant everything. Cats don't greet casually. When your cat appears at the door or watches you walk in from across the room, that's a deliberate choice. They're acknowledging you, and they expect you to acknowledge them back. This isn't neediness. It's a social ritual that cats take seriously. Researchers who study feline behavior found that cats form greeting patterns with their owners just as they do with other cats they trust. A slow approach. Tail held high, maybe a soft chirp. That's their version of saying, "I noticed you and I'm glad you're home." When you ignore that moment, your cat doesn't make a scene. They just quietly file it away. And over time, those missed greetings add up. Your cat starts showing up at the door less. They stop chirping when you come in, not because they stopped caring, but because they learned that you don't follow that rule. The fix takes 3 seconds. When you walk in, give your cat a slow blink. Say something soft. That's it. It's genuinely all they ever needed from you. 6. Where your cat sleeps at night. Have you ever stopped to wonder why your cat sleeps where they do? Maybe it's on your chest, at the foot of the bed, or in a completely different room. You've probably never thought much of it, but that choice is the most honest thing your cat will ever communicate to you. Remember earlier when we talked about staring into your cat's eyes and how they read that as a threat? This is where it all comes together, because where your cat sleeps is the final verdict on how safe they truly feel around you. A cat who sleeps on your chest or curled up near your face is telling you something profound. They're placing themselves at their most vulnerable, in their deepest state of sleep, right beside the person they trust above anyone else. That's not just comfort. That's complete surrender. A cat who sleeps at the foot of the bed still trusts you, but they're keeping a little distance.
Ow.
They want to be nearby, but they also want an easy way out. That's not rejection. That's a cat who's still learning your patterns and making sure you're truly safe to let their guard down around. And a cat who sleeps in a completely separate room doesn't mean they don't love you. But it may mean something in your daily routine is leaving them feeling uncertain. Maybe it's one of the things we covered today that you didn't even realize you were doing. The beautiful thing is, none of this is permanent. Every single day is a fresh chance to follow the rules your cat has been quietly waiting for you to understand. And now you do.